Hey guys, it's Timmy. This is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on the 24th of February 2020 to talk about everything that went down tonight on Monday Night Raw. I thought tonight's Monday Night Raw was a kind of a long show. I'm going to be honest. I sent out a tweet stating that I was watching Raw and they said next up, Owens versus Orton, and I 100% completely forgot that match was going to happen because I forgot that even was what opened the show. This Raw show was so long, excuse me, that I forgot they did the whole Orton-Owens segment at the beginning of the show. I was watching the Montez Ford-Seth Rollins match going, there's 25 minutes in this show, and this match ain't going another 25 minutes. What the hell do we have left? And then they go, after the break, Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. I'm like, oh, I completely forgot about that match. So, to be honest, I felt like the show, just to me at least, felt long. It really felt long. But at least he was here with us in the live chat. We've got Jack Dawson, Henry Cavallo. I still want to call you Henry McKenna Cavallo because that was your name for so long. We've also got Aubrey James, Wayne Montgomery, Derek Bocek, Corey Ayer. I hope I said that right. Stevens Beach City Gaming, Timmy Hayes, Joe Decker. We've also got George John Cox and so many more of you. Gregory King Slender and Limbo, Jason Dalton, and more. Also, if you guys want to give me your thoughts on tonight's Monday Night Raw, you can always do so by either sending a text message to 510-906-1341. Again, that number for the text messages is 510-906-1341. I apologize for that. And also, another way to get your comments and questions spotlighted in the live chat is to hit that super chat button, donate either a super chat or a super sticker, and your question will be read in the live chat. So, as far as tonight's Raw, like I stated, it kicked off with Randy Orton, and he was in the ring. The show's taking place in Winnipeg, Canada, so they made a big deal about they're in Canada. Edge is from Canada. And Orton came out. The announcers told us what was going to happen on tonight's show. A contract signing between the 6 women in the Elimination Chamber match. Seth Rollins versus Montez Ford. And Buddy Murphy versus Angelo Dawkins. So the crowd booed Orton before he could even start talking. Orton said he apologized because lately his emotions have become unbalanced. Orton was told this morning that it had been 15 years since Raw was in Winnipeg, and the crowd cheered for some reason. I mean, I get why they cheered. Orton said that back then, he was 24 years old, and he did a little research to discover that he was Intercontinental Champion on that day. Also, I want to apologize. I got a smoke detector that needs a new battery, so it's going to be chirping. Hopefully I can get a battery tomorrow and replace that sumbitch. Anyways, Orton also learned that he was punched in the face on that show by a certain guy who eventually came to think of as a brother. He calls that man Adam. Or, as we call him, Edge. The crowd chanted, "We want Edge." There was a brief Y2J chant because they were in Y2J's hometown of Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, but it dissipated really quick. Orton said Edge couldn't be here tonight, and the crowd booed. Orton said that the crowd could never understand why he did what he did. He said that he was truly sorry from the bottom of his heart. Kevin Owens would then come out and interrupt, and my first thought was, uh-oh, this is not going to be good. Look what happened to Edge. Look what happened to Matt Hardy. Uh-oh. Jason, yeah, like I said, I need to change your battery. The crowd chanted for Owens. He said he's been dealing with a lot of delusional people lately, including the Monday Night Messiah. He said that he wanted to put that aside tonight because he had an issue with Orton. Owens just heard Orton apologize, but he didn't believe it. He didn't think Orton really meant it. Owens wanted him to drop the act and tell us why he did what he did. Owens said that he was a lifelong WWE fan and remembered watching at home when Edge retired. Owens said that he was already in the business at that point, working the independent scene, and remember thinking how bad it sucked when Edge retired. He said it sucked for Edge and sucked for guys like him who wanted to have a chance to wrestle him. Orton would then go on to talk about the Royal Rumble. He stated that at the Royal Rumble, I was in the back when Edge made his entrance. Made his return, I guess you can call it. He said, and at that time, I wasn't thinking about myself and when I was supposed to go out there. Instead, I was soaking in the moment of Edge and his return, thinking, wow, maybe I can finally have a match with him. And he then said, Orton took that all away. Orton responded with, you think you know me? Which is a good little Edge reference there. Owens responded, that was clever. And said that the fans were probably sick of them talking and would rather see them fight. Fans cheered, Orton accepted, and they got out of the ring stating, well, we'll do it, but not right this moment. Owens responded, oh no, Charlie Caruso, next up, interviewed Zelina Vega and Angel Garza. She said that they were a power couple of people, because they're not a real couple. Vega said that their only interest in Humberto Carrillo was an obligation to take out the trash. There was some family you were proud of and others you'd rather deny. Vega said that Garza wanted to put Dimples Carrillo in his place and take the top spot on Raw. Caruso thanked them for the interview, and Zelina said something about pleasure. There's a time and a place for business and pleasure. And Garza looks at Charlie, grabs her hand, and goes, but with you, business is always a pleasure. And he kissed her hand, and Charlie's like, ooh, she got a little smitten. She didn't know what to think. Well, then next up, Angel Garza, Humberto Carrillo. Thought this match was fun. It went 14 and a half minutes or so. There was an amusing spot early on where they got a leg lock upside down and splatted each other over the face. Carrillo used some cool counters and hit a drop kick and a suicide dive before commercial break. Garza knocked down Carrillo from the top rope after the break, tore off his pants and chucked them at Carrillo before hitting a slingshot reverse suplex and a low super kick for a 2. They traded kicks on the apron before knocking each other down, and the crowd cheered in appreciation. They continued to battle on the apron until Garza managed to hit a moonsault to the outside, leading to another break. After the break, Carrillo used a Spanish fly for a 2. Garza followed that up soon after with a Spanish fly of his own off the top for a near fall. Carrillo hit a kick to the face for a 2. They then traded cradles for a series of 2 counts. Garza then applied a roll-up while holding the tights to pick up the pinfall victory. I thought this match was very fun, and they left enough in there for a rematch. And as we know, moving forward, I'll fast forward a little bit, next week, these two will be in tag team action as Humberto teams with Rey Mysterio and Garza teams with Andrade. Now, we've got a super chat donation here from Luke Piquet. I want to thank you for the super chat. He says, how long will Angel Garza be on the main roster? And I'm not 100% sure on that. We know that Angel Garza is wrestling on Raw next week. Like I just stated, he's going to be in a tag team match. But going forward past that, I really don't know. And I think with him getting beat a few weeks ago on NXT by Lio Rush, that could have been, in that number one contenders match, that could have been a way of him getting moved on, passed on, pushed forward off of NXT to the main roster. Now remember, Triple H has stated that guys can move up, guys and girls can move up, but he wants to make sure that there's a plan for them, that there's something in place, that they know that they're going to be treated well and used properly, not just, oh, we want him, but we don't know what we're going to do with him kind of deal. So, to answer your question, Luke, not 100% sure. I hope this is a call-up, because Angel Garza has been literally perfect with Zelina. I mean, I didn't think the grouping of Zelina and Andrade could get any better. And Zelina and Angel Garza is just as good, if not a little bit better. And I think you add Andrade back in there. You have a three-man little unit here. You got Andrade and Andrade and Angel both being managed by Zelina. You can get some fun stuff here. Whether they take the U.S. title off of Andrade and turn him and Carrillo, why do I keep saying Carrillo? Him and Garza into a tag team, that would be pretty fun too. Henry, you're not the first person I've seen say this. Why do you think Beth is going to be involved with Orton next week? So with that, moving on there. So in the back, Ricochet, no. AJ Styles and Carl Anderson came out with Luke Gallows. That's what I'm reading the wrong thing. But he advised them, head to the back. He thought he didn't need their help against Ricochet. So Ricochet hit a flip dive almost right away. But then he hit a big boot upon trying to hit a springboard move back in the ring. Ricochet fought out of a chin lock and hit an enziguri on big old Gallows. Crowd lightly chanted for Ricochet, who followed this up with a springboard crossbody and a standing shooting star press for a 2. Gallows hit a big boot, but Ricochet came back with a super kick, a recoil, shooting star press for the pinfall victory. Match went 4.5 minutes, maybe not even 5. This match was alright. It got Ricochet over. He's the challenger for the title coming up on Thursday at Super Showdown. So, yeah, you do what you got to do to get him a win. And you get him a win over a big guy because he's facing a big guy this Thursday at the pay-per-view or the live event, special event, whatever you want to call it. NXT commercial plugged Ciampa versus Austin Theory this coming week. Plus, Finn Balor will be in Full Sail Live. In the back, Gallows and Anderson argued before Styles told them to shut up and reminded them that they were the best tag team in the world. Styles was annoyed at the thought that a miracle could happen and Ricochet could become WWE champion. Styles assured them that if that did happen, he'd be ready to take the title from him after he wins the gauntlet match and a trophy to kind of, I guess you could say, keep it in line with them. So it would be better if Gallows and Anderson were still bringing out their trophy every week. But how funny would it be if Gallows and Anderson was bringing out their trophy every week? AJ was bringing out his trophy if he wins the gauntlet match. I don't know. And so they, the tag team and the singles guys got trophies. It'd be pretty funny. It'd be funny in my opinion. So as they're in the back, Aleister Black walked by them and Styles called him out. Styles mocked him for thinking that he was special after winning a few matches. Gallows and Anderson attacked him and left him laying. The OC left. Then Black struggled to get to his feet. Next up, we had Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman in the ring. Lesnar received a big ovation from the Canadian crowd here, and they loudly sang with Heyman's introduction. Heyman said Lesnar didn't need a catchphrase because his catchphrase was the fact that since 2002, he reigns as the champion whenever he wants to. Heyman said Lesnar doesn't lace up his boots every night, so when he does, it's something special. Heyman let Ricochet know that Lesnar owed him one for that low blow at the Royal Rumble. He called Thursday's show special just by virtue of Lesnar's match. Heyman said Thursday was particularly special, then mocked the Canadian crowd for not understanding. Heyman said that if Ricochet became WWE champion, it would change everything about WrestleMania. Heyman added that if his aunt had balls, she'd be his uncle. He said if was irrelevant because Lesnar would beat Ricochet and go on to defeat Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. He said, I've only been wrong once on my spoiler alerts in the last 7 or 8 years, and let me tell you, this is not a prediction, it's a spoiler. Brock Lesnar will go on to WrestleMania and make mincemeat out of Drew McIntyre. They left. Brock posed with the bell on the announce table, and there's your Brock Lesnar segment leading into the big event this Thursday. Then saw Aleister Black again. He was limping backstage after the attack from the OC. They aired a Becky Lynch, Shayna Baszler recap video. And then we got a 10 to 11 minute match with Aleister Black, Eric Rowan. Rematch from last week. Black was selling in the early part of this match. Probably a little too much during his entrance, to be honest. They fought on the outside, and Rowan tossed him into a soft leather chair. Well, I don't know if it's soft, but... Referee asked Black if he wanted to continue, and he said, of course, yes. This led to a break. Black came back with a series of big boots, but Rowan cut him off and hit a Uranagi for a 2. Black came back with a strike and a springboard moonsault. And then a knee strike. Black set up for a black mass, and Rowan blocked it and hit a jackhammer for a near fall. Rowan followed this up with a clothesline, but only got a 2 off of it. Rowan charged after Black on the outside, but he moved and Rowan collided with the steel steps, knocking his cage over. And I think it was King yelled, "Oh, his baby!" He just yelled, "Oh, his baby!" And I'm like, oh no, is it going to fall out of the cage? We're going to see what it is. Is the burlap sack going to fall off the top? What the fuck is in this cage? What is in the cage? I don't know. So we go forward here with this match. Eric Rowan checks on his cage, and I'm like, all right. We're never going to find out what's in this damn cage. Rowan then picked up the cage and apologized to the cage. Yeah, he apologized to the cage. Actually, I skipped forward a little bit. When he knocked over the cage, the front row chanted, "What's in the cage?" which was still covered up. Rowan then powerbombed Black in the ring against the ring post and the video boards. So Black greeted Rowan back in the ring with the black mass. Pinned him. 1, 2, 3, another victory. Sarah Schreiber then approached Aleister Black on the stage and asked him how he overcame the odds. This was basically a 3-on-1 attack. I'm like, what? I know you got attacked before, but it wasn't 3-on-1 during the match. So, I don't know. Anyways, he said, first he said, "Rage, Sarah. Unbridled rage. And next week my rage will be AJ Styles' burden." Black ended with, "Next week, Monday Night Raw, AJ Styles, we fight." I think that match is going to be amazing, as it was confirmed later on for next week in Brooklyn. So Drew McIntyre had a sit-down interview with Charlie Caruso. Caruso interviewed McIntyre backstage. McIntyre didn't care about his opponent. Who his opponent was at Mania. He doesn't care if it's Brock, doesn't care if it's Ricochet. He said that this was 19 years in the making after he was promised things that never materialized. He asked Charlie, "Do you remember what they said when I was debuted? Vince McMahon declared me as the chosen one, said I was a future world champion. How many times have I got a shot at the world title? 0. McIntyre said that he hasn't won any world titles. He was fired by WWE, and, well, he probably deserved it at the time, he said. He said, but he was angry and fueled by the anger there. He realized that he had to get back to WWE because he'd be damned if people remembered him as an idiot playing air guitar." I love that line. An idiot playing air guitar. Caruso asked about returning to NXT instead of Raw or SmackDown. McIntyre said, well, that was his decision. He said he asked to start in NXT. He said it was a blast re-debuting on Raw 4 years after he was fired. McIntyre said that he was living proof that you can follow your dreams. Caruso asked what he was thinking before entering the Royal Rumble. McIntyre said that he knew he had to eliminate Lesnar. McIntyre had heard the word potential for way too long. McIntyre reiterated that he didn't care if it was Lesnar or Ricochet, he would fulfill his destiny at WrestleMania. So then R-Truth was in the ring. He's like, I like me some Drew McIntyre, but this is the winter premiere of R-Truth TV. Or no, Truth TV, not R-Truth TV. Truth TV. There's no stage or anything in the ring or any of that. And then they told us that, well, I mean, there was a little graphic at the bottom of the screen, like right here. Right, it would be like right here. It said Truth TV, but whatever. They then told us that after the break, his guest would be Lana and Bobby Lashley. So after the break, Truth tried to start his little interview deal here. Lana cut him off. She said they weren't here for his show. They're here for a match. And the crowd starts chanting Rusev Day. Truth said Lashley was really, really, really big and would rather ask him questions than have a match. Truth asked Lashley if he's seen the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Lana demanded that they start the match. Referee listened, And the match started and went about 2 minutes or so. Truth used some John Cena moves, as he usually does, including the 5-knuckle shuffle. Lashley slipped out of an AA attempt and speared R-Truth for the victory. Then, in a very weird moment, Tom Phillips starts plugging the gauntlet match for this Thursday because, this was a preview for that. And he said there's an update to the field, but they aired the old graphic. He stated that Mysterio will be replacing Rusev, but Phillips was confused, and you can tell it because they still had the graphic of a Rusev. So I don't know if this is a last-minute change, if this is something that they just found out today that maybe Rusev can't go or won't be there. I don't know what's going on with Rusev and why he's not going to be at Super Showdown, why he's been changed, and why he's not going to be in this match. But Tom Phillips was even confused because he probably was told, hey, announce Ray instead of Rusev. But then when he sees the graphic, he's probably like, why is Rusev still on the graphic? Did I get told wrong? I don't know. That's how I would take it, though. So they also told us officially next week, Black versus Styles, and Rey Mysterio and Humberto Carrillo versus Andrade and Angel Garza. So then we had an Elimination Chamber, a women's title. No. I'm fucking this up like King did. Take a drink really fast. All right. So we had a contract signing for the Raw Women's Elimination Chamber match where the winner moves on to WrestleMania to challenge Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. So like I stated, Jerry Lawler was the host. Out in the ring when this started was Ruby Riott, Asuka, Sarah Logan, Natalya, Liv Morgan, Shayna Baszler obviously absent. And Asuka came out like the biggest star of all people on Raw during this segment. Biggest badass and biggest star. So Lawler starts to talk and Asuka rips the microphone out of his hand. She starts yelling in Japanese and English, talking about how I can count. And she counts in Japanese 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not right. There's supposed to be 6 of us out here. Lawler goes, I know. I was told that Shayna Baszler's in the building. I don't know where she is. She was seen earlier tonight. We can't wait any longer. We have to go on with this. Let's get the contract signed. So Sarah Logan signs the contract. Natalya signs the contract. Gets a good reaction when Lawler says, Canada's own. Liv Morgan signs the contract. Fans cheer. And then Lawler was expecting her to hand the contract back to him. But she says, I got this. She walks over and slams it down right in front of Ruby Riott. Ruby then slides it over. Asuka signs the contract. And then the music of Shayna Baszler finally plays. So they're looking up at the stage. No Shayna. Crowd starts erupting. They all turn the opposite way. Cameras move. Boom. Shayna's walking in through the crowd. So I guess Shayna gets to do whatever the fuck she wants. Like, we got a segment scheduled for this time. You need to be there if you want. All the other girls will be there. But show up at your own pace. She finally gets in the ring. She signs the contract. And, where was I? She signs the contract. And Asuka gets in her face. No. She signs the contract in Natty's face. So Natty stands up, walks around the table, and gets in Shayna's face. So we got Natty, Shayna, standing there. Asuka gets up, walks around from her table, starts yelling in Japanese. She's like, no, it ain't gonna happen. And then she just knocks out Natty. So her and Natty start brawling. Liv Morgan jumps up, jumps over there, takes out Ruby Riott. Sarah Logan grabs Liv Morgan, throws her off of Ruby. She starts yelling, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. You got people pulling these people apart. You got people pulling these people apart. Finally, everyone spills out of the ring. You hear, once they start fighting, you hear Jerry Lawler go, ladies, you're on your own. He runs out of there. And then Shayna's just left in the ring, looking around going, all right, cool. They're all fighting. She's in the ring all by herself. She's the last woman standing. And then Becky's music plays. So Becky comes down all nonchalantly. While Shayna's in the ring going like, come on, I gotcha. Let's do this. You want to fight? We'll fight. So Becky takes her time coming down. She's got these weird Minecraft-looking glasses on, takes them off, throws them down. She's got her belt. She's looking at her belt, whatever. Okay, cool. Finally gets down to the ring. Her and Shayna start to brawl. Excuse me, officials, referees, they all come down, break the two apart. Good little pull apart. And we lead on to Elimination Chamber, where most likely Shayna Baszler's retaining that, or not retaining the belt. Shayna Baszler's winning that match to get the title shot at WrestleMania. I mean, who else is it going to be? Asuka again? Natalya? It ain't going to be Sarah Logan. So I thought that was actually a pretty good, effective segment, to be completely honest. I actually enjoyed it. Mostly for Asuka, because she came off like a superstar and a bigger badass than Shayna Baszler. So they then told us that tomorrow night on WWE Backstage, we will see Brie Bella, Nikki Bella, and Daniel Bryan all on the show. So I wonder if Birdie's going to join them as well. Not sure. So then next up, we had Angelo Dawkins versus Murphy. Street Profits spoke first about their title matchup coming at Super Showdown. And I forgot to write this down, but I sent a tweet out. Montez Ford, just the weirdest line about their title match. He said, and I quote, "This coming Thursday, we have a WWE Raw Tag Team Opportunity match." What? Were you told not to say championship title match? He said, we have a Raw Tag Team Opportunity match. Like, what the fuck? What? There was a thing saying my 200-pound dog is sitting on me because he's scared of smoke alarms. Uh-oh. I take it you don't have headphones on listening to me then. So, Dawkins gave Murphy a spinebuster early in this match, but Rollins broke up a cover. Disqualification. Match basically doesn't even happen. Ford then wiped out Rollins and Murphy with a flip dive after a break. They referenced tossing Dawkins from ringside, and then they tossed Buddy Murphy. At one point, Montez Ford even made a line of saying something about, you lost your first name, Buddy Murphy, which was kind of funny. So, we then get Seth Rollins versus Montez Ford. Like I stated, during the break, Angelo Dawkins was kicked out of ringside. After the break, they kicked out Buddy Murphy. So, Ford was in control early until Rollins cut him off and hit a buckle bomb. At this point of the show, I thought this was the end. I thought, okay, we're not going to get too much more in tonight's Raw. Then, like I said earlier, I looked at my watch and go, oh, crap, there's still 25 minutes left in this show. So, where was I? Ford came back with an enziguri at one point. Rollins tried another buckle bomb, but Ford using a leg scissor takedown to send him into the buckle instead. He then landed a standing moonsault for a 2. Rollins set up a pedigree, but Ford countered into a spike DDT for a very close near fall. The crowd booed because they thought it was a 3, but it wasn't. As they battled on the top, Ford hit a sunset flip powerbomb, but missed a frog splash. Then Rollins hit him with a curb stomp and picked up the victory. Nothing great and amazing. I thought this match was solid, but it wasn't like blow away. It was about a 15-minute match and whatnot. Oh. Okay, so never mind. They then plugged John Cena will be on SmackDown this Friday. There was a commercial for Charlotte Flair versus Bianca Belair this Wednesday on NXT. They also plugged Charlotte and Rhea Ripley coming up at WrestleMania. And before we get to our main event, I do have one text message here I do want to read. If you guys want to send in your thoughts on tonight's show, you can do so at 510-906-1341. Again, that number to text in is 510-906-1341. What is this? So this text message says, I still got 2 of them. You think Edge will have face-to-face of some sorts with on Raw before Mania? Yes. Edge, I believe, should be back on Monday the 8th. No, the 9th. So Monday the so next week. So let me think about this. Hold on. Let me pull up a calendar. So this week is Super Showdown. Then a week from Sunday. Let's see. A week from Sunday is Elimination Chamber. So I think, which is the 8th. So I think the 9th is when Edge should come back and start his build towards WrestleMania with Randy Orton. You would have 1, 2, counting that week, 1, 2, 3, 4 Raws to build something up. So I think that's when Edge comes back. I'm just predicting, don't know anything for certain, but I think Monday the 9th is when Edge makes his return. And this text message here to state, just wondering if you have any more information or details on non-Full Sail episodes on March 11th. I haven't heard anything other than there's no ticket on sale for that date, and we don't know where they're going to do it. I know in the past they have filmed NXT in Atlanta at Center Stage. I don't know if they're going to go for just that 1 week all the way to Atlanta. So we'll see what they do. Again, I don't know what the plan is. I haven't heard anything. I'll look into it, though. And this person says, did you legit have a problem with Buddy Murphy name? No, I liked the name Buddy Murphy. They had a problem with it, thinking that you can't call a bad guy that follows... What was it that was reported? The feeling was that you can't have a heel that is a disciple or a follower of a bigger heel named Buddy. Because Buddy sounds like a good guy. Even though Buddy Murphy has been working as a heel basically as long as we've ever seen him in WWE or NXT. So, I don't get that. Who knows? So with that, we move on to our main event. Tom Phillips talked about Raw next week and seemed nervous of the idea of Randy Orton just what he could do to Kevin Owens tonight. Remember, like I said earlier, I sent out the tweet saying, was this smart of Kevin Owens? Which in the end it was, but I didn't know because we saw what happened with Matt Hardy. We've seen what happened with Edge, all at the hands of Randy Orton. So both men are in the ring. This match starts. Match goes about 8.5 minutes. Owens hammered away on Orton and gave him a cannonball into the barricade. Owens went to the top when Rollins and his buddies sauntered out. Owens climbed down from the top instead and was just doing moves. Owens focused on Rollins and called him a little bitch. Orton knocked Owens off the barricade before he went to the last break of the show. As we came back, Orton was in control, but Owens came back with a super kick. Street Profits and the Viking Raiders ran out and they started brawling with Rollins and his disciples. Owens and Orton traded strikes on the top, and Owens got the better of it, knocking Orton off to the mat below and hit a senton on Randy. Rollins found his way back up to ringside. Owens knocked him off the apron. Then Orton gave him a clothesline. No, Owens gave Rollins a clothesline off the apron. Orton and Rollins both acted surprised by the... no, I skipped the paragraph. Give me a second, guys. Let me My dyslexia is kicking in. I got to recap for a second, or regroup. Okay. So Owens knocks Rollins off the apron with a clothesline. Owens had to then fend Rollins off again, which allowed Orton to hit a draping DDT. Orton then goes for the pin, and we get a 1, 2, 3. Both men look shocked, like, what the fuck just happened? Was that it? Is it over? Did Randy just win? And then all of a sudden the ref jumps out of the ring really quick. Seth, are you okay? Rollins, Seth, are you okay? And Seth's like, yeah, I'm fine. What the hell's going on? And it's like, huh? So the referee is out at ringside. Kevin Owens is pissed. Randy Orton disappears. Well, no. I digress. I'm skipping ahead. Seth Rollins throws 2 chairs into Randy Orton, asks him to give Owens a concerto. As Orton is arguing with Seth about do I do it or not, Owens gets to his feet. Orton dropped his chair and just leaves. So Owens gets out of the ring, grabs the referee, throws him back in. Crowd starts chanting yes. He rips open the ref shirt, and well, he reveals he's got a Monday Night Messiah t-shirt. So this guy, is he working with Seth all along? Seth starts yelling, I don't know who this is. I have nothing to do with this. You can't blame me for this. So is this guy just a follower of Seth and wanted to screw Kevin Owens to prove himself to Seth? Or did Seth really set this all up? That is the big question now. Crowd chanted, Owens threatened to hit the guy with the chair, and instead Owens dropped the chair and hit him with a stunner. Crowd then chanted one more time. But Owens instead grabbed a table and they cheered for that. Rollins wondered what was wrong with everybody and said the referee was a good man. Owens would then powerbomb him through the table. And that is how the show went off the air, with Rollins at the top of the ramp yelling, "What are you doing? I had nothing to do with this." And Owens in the ring looking back up at Seth. So with that, that was Monday Night Raw. Very interesting show. I felt that the show went a little long. I thought that it was, like I said, by the time we got to that main event with Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, I had honestly forgot that they actually opened the show with Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. That's how long this show felt to me. With that, we do have a couple more text messages. If you want to give me your thoughts on tonight's Monday Night Raw, you can do so by texting in to 510-906-1341. Again, that number for text messages is 510-906-1341. You can also put your questions in the live chat with a super chat donation. Either a super chat or a super sticker guarantees that I see your comment and it gets read right here. I want to look something up. I did see some things from you guys in the live chat. Let me look something up really fast. Let's go. Let's see. So we may know exactly when Edge is coming back. Okay, so here we go. According to... So my theory might be correct. So according to a listing from the Capital One Center in Washington, D.C., where the Monday after Elimination Chamber is being held, it does state on their website, Edge live to give a medical update on his condition. So they spoiled it. My prediction was correct. Edge most likely the Monday after Elimination Chamber, which makes the most sense. It's 4 weeks till WrestleMania, and you go from there. So it does look like Edge will be on Raw, returning Monday, March 9th. But let's read some of these text messages. This person says, any news on why they don't want to use Keith Lee at WrestleMania after a Rumble performance? Easy. You don't need news for this. It's because he's an NXT guy and he's going to be defending his championship the night before at TakeOver. So why has he got to work WrestleMania as well? Who's he going to work against? There's nothing set. Yeah, you can say maybe Braun Strowman, but he's a champion in NXT. I get it. An NXT champion has once before challenged a champion on the main roster, but that's against what I'm trying to say here. Keith Lee's going to be wrestling at TakeOver the night before. He's going to be building up to whatever that match is going to be through NXT. And he doesn't need to be at WrestleMania. He's got time to build to another WrestleMania where he's full-time. I think this time next year, Keith Lee will be full-time on the main roster. And then he can have his WrestleMania match. He doesn't need it yet. He's doing great things in NXT right now. Why put guys on the WrestleMania card before they're ready just to do it? If you know what I mean. And this person says, So Bill Goldberg beating The Fiend in Saudi, right? There's no way he's going there just to lose a Universal title match. Spear versus Spear at Mania. You know what? I'm not even going to comment because I've heard way too many different contradicting things on this. I don't know what they're doing with Goldberg. At one point I hear he's going to wrestle WrestleMania. Then the next I hear he's not going to wrestle at WrestleMania. Then I hear he may be in this match. He may be doing this. He may have this plan. He may want to go here. So I don't know what's up with Goldberg. Goldberg literally in an interview said that he wants to have his final match ever in Israel. WWE doesn't even go to Israel. So who the hell knows what his plans are? So I don't know. But with that, that's been Monday Night Raw. This last one here says, Andre Battle Royal. Okay, I didn't think about that. Yeah, he could be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, but why? I don't think it's needed. I don't think you need to throw him in there. He would just come off as another guy, to be completely honest. But with that, that's going to do it for this Monday Night Raw review. I want to say thank you to everybody who did join me here live to talk about tonight's Monday Night Raw. Everybody who watched later right here on YouTube and listened on podcast services all around the world. And if you haven't gotten enough of me tonight, if you guys want to join me in roughly 1 hour at about 10 p.m. Pacific, I will be live over on my Twitch, twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. Again, that's twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. I'm going to be playing some NASCAR Heat. I'm going to start doing a full season of NASCAR, kicking it off with a Daytona race tonight. I've got my steering wheel ready, all hooked up with my computer and whatnot. I'm going to be doing a lot more video game streaming over there on Twitch. I will sometimes still do gaming things over here on YouTube. Like I might be doing a Jackbox stream where you guys can interact and play with over the weekend, maybe on Sunday. So we'll see. But if you guys want to join me in about an hour or so, twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. I will be playing some games over there. I will put the link in the community tab once I do go live, and I'll send it out on my personal Twitter @TimmyBuddy when I'm live on Twitch. So again, if you guys want to join me in roughly 1 hour or so, you can join me there, interact a little more with me. So hey, like I said, this is it for Raw. But in about an hour, I'm going to be playing some NASCAR Heat racing at Daytona on Twitch, twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. Have a good night, guys, and we'll see you next time. Maybe in an hour if you're there.